This is Teatime, yeah, making a difference, one cup at a time. Yeah, this is Teatime, yeah, making a difference, one cup at a time. So be sure to grab your tea, grab a seat, and tune in to Miss Liz. Teatime. Making a difference, one cup at a time. Tea time, yeah. Tea time, time.
Well, welcome back, guys. I have a surprise twisted tea tonight. That's right, we're doing something a little different with Michael. We're going to do some updates and twisted tea. So, Michael, welcome back. You were a guest in August, and you are back with some incredible updates and all of that good stuff. And we're going to talk a little bit about podcasting because new seasons are starting for a lot of people. So, we want to get some of that good stuff out there as well. So, Michael, what has happened since August?
Oh, a lot. I've been pretty much all over the place, getting in some comedy bits with a little bit of a comedy tour that I set up for myself. Was over in Charleston, South Carolina, a few here in Orlando, Florida, one over to Tampa, and I have one coming up next week in Atlanta, Midtown Atlanta. So got a lot going on, a lot of new production coming on the show as well. Just so much new stuff added onto my show on Savage Unfiltered. And then, of course, I'm trying to get into the movie extra work too, but I'm putting that off to the side. I'm more focusing on the podcast now, but I hope to jump back onto the movie stuff possibly after the new year. So.
Yeah, because I seen that you were heading over to do a voiceover on a production the other day. So, can you give us
Oh
a
yeah.
little insight on that, or is that a project that's coming in the future?
No, that's a project with a gentleman that's part of my show. That was actually at his studio in Tampa for a couple of his upcoming projects that he has with some movies as well as some music production too. So just a little side stuff I do with a buddy of mine, in his studio. But,
So, have you changed your logo again on Savage?
yeah, yeah, we changed it. We got rid of the old, I guess the square looking thing, and we kind of made it more futuristic, more modern. We gave it more of a savage look. Um, Obviously, if you've been paying attention on my X account, we're putting in more production. We're adding more movie trailers type of stuff to the episodes, giving it an inside look of just what the episode is about. And starting this week, that will be actually launched on our Wednesday show of Savage Cut. So every episode, Miss Liz, you're going to see more of an inside look of what these episodes are about and where they're going. So just giving a little bit more to the listener and follower. You know what I mean?
I like that, and I've seen some of the early stuff because I am following you on X, and we have stayed in contact since you've been on Tea Time. And I encourage everybody out there when you have a guest on your show, stay in contact with them because you just never know what kind of incredible updates are coming. A lot of people are just having guests on their platforms, and then they're just See you later, alligator. You know,
Yeah.
uh, so I'm big on staying connected to my guests. And Michael, we've stayed connected. We've stayed connected with Joseph. If everybody hasn't seen Joseph's Tea Time, check that out as well as on the YouTube channel. And Joseph's a part of Savage Unfiltered. He does a lot of co-hosting.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Joseph is all over the place on the show. I mean, there's times where I have to say, by the way, Joseph, we're gonna do a show without you, and he gets very, very upset. Yeah, he always wants to be part of the show, and I mean, why not? He's a great mouthpiece for the show. He's full of knowledge, and I'm so blessed to have Joseph as a co-host because we were only supposed to do like 3 series with him last
Oh,
year. Actually, now going on a year and a half. But from then, I mean, we just kind of, we clicked, and our personalities are so similar in so many different ways. And we made him a part of the show, and it's great having Joseph, and I can't wait for another season with Joseph to see where the show goes.
so Michael, we have a question here. How did you get the name A Savage Unfiltered?
Okay, well, I got the name from playing around with names to begin with. I didn't know where to go with it. Obviously, if those have been paying attention on the show, I've gone through at least 3 rebrands in the past. We started out with Kitchen Angle podcast, then we went to the Patriot Angle podcast, to now Savaged Unfiltered. The reason why we chose Savaged is because of the type of content that I'm bringing in. I'm pretty much going with just about anything. Like I say on the show, if you have a story, you want to express your story, some of your journey, your experiences, come on the show. I'm not one of those content creators or podcast hosts that are just gonna have one specific topic. I bring it all: politics, comedy, personal interviews with different types of people of all different backgrounds. I've had it all on my show, from politicians, comedians, adult entertainers, to actors, to just about everybody. So, like I tell everybody, come on the show. I'll throw you a mic and we'll see where it goes.
Well, you just never know where it goes when you join the show.
Oh,
As
yeah,
I
yeah.
seen when I joined, I went, I left the show with a whole new kind of feeling for chicken.
Yeah, we could be an emotional roller coaster sometimes, like, because I was taught a long time ago, Miss Liz, to never be timid with your guest or your personality. Always ask that question, because you may never be able to ask that question, or it might get lost, in the mix. So, hey, when you come on Savage Unfiltered, you never know what you're gonna get. You know what I mean? It's like mayonnaise, Miss Liz. You can put it on anything.
Or like mustard. I've been watching this TikTok a couple on TikTok and on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and this guy just loves mustard. And I've been like, okay, let's just put mustard on everything. So
Oh,
it's Dylan and Shelby, I think it is. So if anybody has
yeah.
seen them, check them out. He's hilarious. He's just a real hoot. Uh, but I like the flow of your show, Michael, because I've been on your show and I like how open and raw it is. If you need to curse, you can curse, not like be a filthy dirty mouth, but I mean, you can be yourself. You don't have to be hoodie tootie and like all of the whole back. I'm gonna get judged for this, I'm gonna get judged for that. On your platform, it's real, it's raw, it's really savage. And like you said, you just never know what comes up.
Well,
Like,
you're getting off the cuff with me tonight. Like the last time I was on your show, I had the whole studio effect, my headphones, my microphone. I figured I'd do something different for you, and give you like a little bit more of an inside, dirt sheet of who I am, basically. You know what I mean? I'm basically here on the patio here, just giving you the raw, off the cuff, savaged Michael Gardner here. So, yeah.
I love it. Sometimes we just got to get out of the studio and we have to do a little different. And that's why we're doing this Twisted Tea tonight, because we're doing a little different to see. We're putting this out there to see if other guests would like to come back and do some return shows Michael's doing tonight. Because sometimes we got to twist and turn. We gotta go off track a little to see if we can get different listeners, different audience, different perspectives, right?
Oh yeah,
I like that you're real and raw, and you're in what do you call it, the dirt sheet?
the dirt sheet. Yes, the dirt sheet of Savage. That's yes. The what what is Michael Gardner really like? Like what's his life like? You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just here outside enjoying the fresh breeze here in Sunshine State of Florida. So
Sunshine. Where's the sunshine? I see dark.
8 o'clock in the evening here. So yeah, it gets dark about 7 o'clock now because of the time. What fall behind, spring ahead type difference. That's how I was taught. When I was a kid. Fall behind, spring ahead. That's how we knew the difference.
So do you do time change where you are?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's coming in November, right?
What? November?
The fall.
Well, it already happened.
Did it already happen?
Well, for us,
Did I forget to put my time back?
Well, you got to remember, I'm this part of the United States here. It already went backwards already. So.
Oh, well, look at that.
I think Canada celebrates a little differently up there. So
yeah, we just do little things, little odd ways. I did see, Michael. I've been watching the last couple of episodes with you and Joseph, and you're talking about Canada and the truckers, and I love that you're keeping that on track because we really need to keep that in the news. What's going on with our truckers and that in Canada. So I really want to thank you guys for doing that because a lot of things come into the news and come onto podcasts and then they just disappear. The conversation disappears.
Yeah, Joseph and I, we were part of a very large X space about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago with this organization called magamission.org. And we were in a space with them, and they were talking about, freedom for truckers, how a lot of truckers are getting basically discredit for a lot of different things that they're doing. I mean, they're trying to put food on the table for not only Canadians, but as well as Americans too. So, I mean, you're seeing it, on both sides of the aisle, both in America and Canada, with the just, I mean, everything. I mean, words. I mean, you can't explain it. Like what's going on with the truckers there. It's terrible. I mean, my heart goes out to the truckers really because some of these guys. I mean, by the time you got to remember, Miss Liz, most of these truckers are independent, so most of their expenses coming out of their pocket. With maintenance to the truck. Everything. So like half the time, when they get that final paycheck, it's like half the time it could be, as little as $500 to $1,000. After they get done paying their fuel, their expenses to the truck. So I mean, my heart goes out to them, really. I mean, and I think it was necessary to mention, truckers in that episode when we did that, and yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them are independent, and a lot of things have happened. Like our bank accounts have been frozen. I used to date a trucker years ago, so I know that it is hard work and it's long hours and it's time away from family and loved ones. There's a lot of sacrifices is making with truck drivers, and then for us to be and people that live it and understand it that have gone through it, where their accounts are frozen, where they've been censorized, they've been, we're here saying our country's screwed up right now. Stay away, don't come. A lot of people are like, Mrs., I want to go to. No, you don't. Right now, it is chaos. It is hard for the people that actually live in Canada, and all it's doing is putting more people on the streets. And people that are coming to Canada are actually being put on the streets because they're given 4 months funding, and then after that it's figure it out for yourself. Well, in 4 months you can't figure stuff out, and the rent cost here has gone up 75%. So what we used to pay $600-700, we're paying $3,000 now for rent.
Wow.
So yeah, it's crazy.
That's a huge jump. I hear $600-700 to $3,000. Wow, I haven't seen prices like that probably since the 80s. I mean,
yeah. Well, that's what they're saying. Since 72, we haven't seen increases. People are
Oh,
more,
okay.
people are losing their homes left, right, and center. We have homeless people all over. It is sad what we're seeing over here. We have a community that's called the Tent People, and if you want to donate to them, you have to go through different organizations and different services instead of just going to help them. We can we, our hands are
They don't
being
have
tied
any
up.
type of like coalitions that they set up, like food sharing programs or something.
They do, but only time limits. So
Oh
during
wow.
from 9 to noon, you can have your breakfast, or take a shower, whatever, then get back on the street, do whatever you got to do, right?
Huh.
Uh, yeah, it's crazy here. For anyone that is thinking Canada is this amazing country right now, I am disgusted with my own country. And that's what I like about your platform, Michael, is because Savage Unfiltered goes deep, it goes raw, it tells you the facts, it tells you the everyday people are suffering,
Yeah,
you know.
sometimes people don't want to listen to the facts, because there's a term that Joseph coins on the show all the time, facts over fear. People can't stand the facts. They know that everything that we talk about, not just our show, but other shows similar to ours, we're stating facts. We're not stating fear mongering bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I mean, people can't stand that. And I think that's what's great about podcasts such as mine and yours and just others. We're delivering like actual information, true information to the people. Uh, you know, um, you know, you can go to like a place like CNN or MSNBC, and they're just going to deliver, it's just narratives that they want you to listen to. We're not like that, and I think there should be more shows like this, because you're giving you're giving information, factual information to the people, and that's important.
Well, we have to get the facts out, right? And we got to beat that fear. There's too many people living in fear.
Yeah.
We have to bring our voices, and we have to stay strong. And that's what the truckers gave a lot of us Canadian people, was our voice back. We were able to stand up and say, but it was sad that they had to take that step to make us step up, you know. But I'm really grateful to all the truckers who have done that for us and given us a voice again, because without those truckers, we wouldn't have a voice. We would be all a bunch of little pussies just saying yes sir, no sir, yes, okay, we'll do it. A lot of people were pushed into that corner, like with a lot of the pandemic, the rules and the regulations. A lot of people lost their jobs, a lot of people sacrificed their families because of different things, right?
And we're still rebuilding from all that. We're still trying to, come about all that, come from the dark abyss from COVID. I mean,
Yeah.
there's still people that are struggling to this day from COVID. I mean, is COVID still around? Not really. I mean, it's pretty much a nothing burger at this point, but I mean, it's still affecting people's lives,
Yeah.
mainly businesses. I mean, you look at businesses in New York City, there's five-star restaurants that are closed. Some of those restaurants were around for like 3, 4, 5 generations in the family, closed with a snap of a finger
Yep.
because of how the government in America got so corrupted and so greedy. Most of
Yeah.
these businesses were just trying to stay afloat, and the government had to close them down because of COVID. It's just, this world is going to hell in a handbasket, Miss Liz. It really is.
Yeah. And it's not just the United States, Canada is that way. And then we got all these different wars that are going on, and it's pick sides. If you don't pick a side, and if you pick one side, well, then you get censored even more. In Canada, we can't say anything about Palestine. We can't even support the two countries, but there's so much that people don't know. You need to really start getting educated. You really need to start doing your research, people, because all of my listeners out there, this platform is to teach educational awareness. Those three words is exactly what Tea Time is. I'm teaching you educational awareness through my guests. I want my guests to bring you the facts. Let's beat the fear. Let's beat all of these conditions and rules and regulations and stuff that doesn't serve purpose. It's serving the other people that are looking at us as nobodies. We have a voice too, and we matter. And that's why I really appreciate what you do with your platform, Michael. And I appreciate what Joseph does with his platform. I appreciate platforms that are bringing the truth to the table. What do we get censored? What do we get knocked? What do we get blocked? What do we get pulled down? We're going to come back because that's who we are. We're fighters. We're warriors. We fight for what we believe is truth. And if that means we stand alone, we stand alone, but we still stand, you know? And a lot of people will come at me and say, Miss Liz, you need to really tone it down. Well, you know what? Miss Liz doesn't tone anything down. I just make stronger tea. That's all I make. And I get stronger topics out there. So,
Yeah, I love that, when you say, I'm not going to tone it down. They want you to tone it down probably because they 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 want you to be on their narrative. They want you to support their sick, demented, sick narrative. I get the same thing. I go into a lot of these X spaces, which I'm finding myself more in now than ever. And a lot of these people are just, they're depressed, Miss Liz. They're they're they just don't know where to go. Like I was just in an X space just before I went in to the podcast here with you. There was a discussion where why are people breaking down? Well, a lot of them are just losing hope. They're losing hope, and they're revolting or relating to these X spaces to try to gain something from them. Don't get me wrong, X spaces are phenomenal. They're full of awareness. They're full of possibly education. You can learn from something. They're great. But then again, there's a downside of them because some of these people are, without jobs, and, they're just staying home, and they're staying on these. I've seen people on X spaces for 15, 20 hours a day.
wow.
My goodness, do these people have a life? I don't want to get drastic with it, but shit, man. If that's going to be the new society of where we're going to be as a world, as a planet, then I'm sorry, humanity has a very, very unpromised ability in the future. It really
Yeah.
does.
And we have a question here for you, Michael. What is X space?
X Space is well, it's the old former Twitter. X Space, the new Twitter now, which is X, and then Space. Space is basically they're set up as chat rooms. So anybody that has an X account now, formerly, my words today, I'm telling you, originally Twitter, there we go. Now rebranded to X. They have these chat rooms where you can go in there and you can basically just, chit chat, if that's what you want to call it.
So is it something like Clubhouse?
Similar to Clubhouse, yeah, yeah. Same concept, but they're set up as like little chat rooms. Back in the day, we used to have AOL before, Facebook and Twitter and all these different platforms got their boom. And
Yeah.
we used to have like these little chat rooms that were similar to Clubhouse. I call it the original Clubhouse because AOL had the chat rooms, and then if you go back even further, MySpace, they had the same scenario. So yeah, yeah, same.
Yeah, and Yahoo had the same thing too, because that's how I got connected online was through Yahoo. They
Yeah,
had little rooms and that you could go in and chit chat and do all your dating and flirting and all that good stuff in there. Uh,
yeah,
but
COVID.
that was taken. I don't know who ever bought Yahoo, but I know Yahoo's still on there somewhere. I'm
It
not sure
it's
what.
it's still there. Yahoo is has been around. It was the original browser, like to everything before, Explorer and Chrome and all that other stuff that you have now. But yeah, it's still around. It's just people don't really use it a lot.
Yeah. Well, there's been so many different changes, right? So I want to get into the podcast because we're not doing an hour show. We're only doing a 30-minute show. We're doing completely different. We're doing Twisted, but I want to get into the podcasting. So, Michael, where do you see podcasting going in the next 5 years?
The next 5 years. It's endless. It's constantly evolving. I got into it like 4.5, now almost 5 years ago. And when I got into it, it was basically very young in its development stages. It was audio only, which is now evolving into video. I see a lot of content creators taking their audio content, merging it with their video content, which is awesome. You know, a lot of people like to see that reaction. They like to see facial expressions with video. You can't see that, or you can't experience that with audio. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people that still like audio. Like you're in the gym, you're working out, you want to listen to a podcast. Boom, you plug in the earbuds, and there you go. But where's it going to go in 5 years? Oh, I can tell you right now that the technology that we have, uh, with CGI and certain video graphics, it's going to be really special. It really is. You're going to have talk shows that you see now, uh, basically be looked as a thing of the past. A lot
Yeah.
of these big time talk shows that you see on TV are going to be basically pushed away, and you're going to see little independent amateur podcasters and content creators be called the next big thing. With just the technology that we have. I mean, there's so much software out there at the tip of your fingertips that a lot of people don't even understand or don't even know how it comes up to play. Like you can be the biggest amateur in podcasting and still, I mean, just create these videos and these clips and everything else. I've seen people, create these clips, and they're like, man, I never knew I can create this. It's just self-explanatory.
Yeah.
So I think that's where podcasting is going to go to. It's going to be the new modern terrestrial radio. Which, I mean, you look at terrestrial radio right now, Miss Liz, and it's being pushed aside. No one wants to
Yep.
listen to it. I mean, look at Sirius Satellite. It's just hanging on. I mean, some people still listen to Sirius Satellite, but a lot of people are turning to Spotify and iHeart and Apple Music. So where it's going to go in 5 years, I can't wait. Bring it. That's what I say. Bring it.
That's what I say too, because I think it's going to be an incredible journey, and it's going to be the ones that really put the effort into it. Because this is something we have talked about off screen, is a lot of people are doing podcasts, but they don't want to do the extra effort of putting layouts, putting color in, bringing your branding in, bringing merchandise in. You're just turning the camera on and saying, "Oh, I got a podcast." Guys, come on, put a little effort in there, put your twist, you put your creativity in there, bring your colors, bring your wildness in there. Like, I love what you do with your show, Michael, because you have like all these layovers and
Yeah.
wham bams. But
We're constantly evolving, Miss Liz. I say to people all the time, evolve with your product, evolve with your content, push it to the next level. I mean, if you feel that something's not working, take it out. Move to something that could work, and that's how you sell your material. That's how you sell your content over to your audience, your listeners.
right, and offer different things. Don't just offer an interview. Like, you have so much to offer, Michael. You have books, you have merchandise, you have other resources that you can do, be a guest on another platform, have that open variety for everybody. So I want to get into, because we're almost at the 30 minutes here, I want to get into Michael, I want to get into your merchandise, because you have some really cool stuff. So where can they reach it for the people that are not watching the video and they're listening to audio? Where can they reach that stuff?
Yeah, the merchandise, guys, you can basically go to savagedarmy.com. Okay, all our merchandise is there. A lot of exclusive and original merchandise. What I mean by original is there's a lot of merchandise that goes back to the original foundations of the show. A lot of that original stuff. A lot of people like it, so I kept it on there. And a lot of exclusives, a lot of personality exclusives that are on the show. Our cousin Sauce, which is a personality on the show, you can find a lot of his stuff on there, including Joseph, with his There's a Double Entendre. So much nice and awesome things are on SavageArmy.com. I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, and we have a lot of new stuff that's dropping soon. So I can't say when. It's just you have to go on the website because it drops on a daily and a weekly basis. So I mean, we just had probably about what 8 or 9. I'm trying to remember because I don't even have any production or show notes with me right now. I'm doing this all off the cuff, guys.
He's
We
doing
had
in
like,
the dirt sheet.
yeah, we had about like 7 or 8 different products that just dropped this past week.
Oh.
A lot of new stuff on there, and a lot more newer stuff that's going to be added. So you're going to want to look out for that. I mean, hoodies, hats, mugs, beer pints, doggy vests. I mean, just about everything is on SavagedArmy.com. And then also too, we're going to be releasing more coffee blends, which we have a coffee section that's going to be added on there in the near future. So you're going to want to look out for that too as well. The website SavageUnfiltered.com has been temporarily closed down due to maintenance. So I'm told by this Thursday or Friday that website will be back up and running. A lot of people are questioning. We're getting emails coming in like, what happened to the website? That's actually down, folks, because it's in maintenance mode. So due to that, because we're adding more graphics and more stuff on the website to, for the listener. So
yeah.
Like I said, we're constantly evolving, constantly evolving. So yeah.
Well, it was really awesome to have you back, Michael, and it's awesome. Congratulations on all the upcoming new things that you have coming.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't go lengthy tonight. I just
no, and that's
I
okay because this is what we're doing, right? We're doing twisted. We're doing different. So, and I like shorter shows because sometimes an hour for me is long because I have to put a lot of effort into a 1 hour show, a lot of questions, a lot of homework, a lot of research. Because I do my homework on my guests. And I'm glad that you stayed in touch with me, Michael. And I wish you all the best. And if you need me ever back on Savage Unfiltered, I'm there for you. I got the voice.
Yeah, we got to do a part 2 with you. I just
we just won't do any chicken breasts.
Oh, no chicken breasts. I don't know where that joke came from. Or did it go over my head? I think it went over my head.
No, you had to boot that person out because we just kept hearing chicken breasts.
That woman was off. She was like the little boy in the left center field. She was picking dandelions. I mean, her mind was, boy, I feel bad. Joseph was like, what kind of drugs was that woman on? I was like, I don't know, man. I'm afraid to ask.
But it kind of brought some humor to the time together. So I really enjoyed it. It made me put my brain somewhere where it didn't need to be put.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I go on and thank you for joining me and giving me some updates. And again, stay in touch. I will be in touch with you for the reunion show and all that good stuff. So
yeah. December 15th for season 5. Actually, we have our upcoming season actually coming up. Thank you. You just kind of put the words in my head there. Yeah, guys, check us out for season 5 this December 15th, which will be the launch of the next season. So yeah, season 5. God, I didn't even think we were going to get up to season 2, but season 5, shit, I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah, I only start season 5 in January. I'm still going to be in December, but in December we also have the reunion show where all the guests are invited back from all season 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you just never know who comes back because it's close to Christmas time. So December 21st, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There'll be a lot of videos going out and a lot of information going out. If you'd like to check out Mrs.'s website. There's going to be some information going up on that pretty soon with my web designer and creator. She's going to help me put all that good stuff up there. And we're going to have some surprises on there as well. So check that out. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things. Yeah, season 5. Can you believe that you're going in season 5? I'm going in season 5.
Yeah, when you said reunion show, I automatically thought of like, oh shit, I just forgot to pitch the season 5. Yeah, it's like we just put that on X earlier today, and season 5. I got to thank my my designing team on the show for doing that because again, it's part of those special effect trailer pieces that we're putting in more. Yeah. And I liked how you said this. I'm giving a little behind the scenes. Miss Liz actually says, "Getting more savaged" or something like that, right?
Right. No, you are getting more savage. Like
Nope.
I have seen the
Trying.
previews of what's coming on Wednesday, so check that out, guys.
Yeah.
Wednesday there's a new show dropping, and you can check that out on Rumble. Highly suggest everybody get on Rumble. Miss Liz
Yeah.
is working on getting on Rumble. I have an account on Rumble. I just don't know how to get all the good stuff.
Yeah,
on Rumble.
the show drops at 12 midnight this upcoming Wednesday, which is our part of our second show, Savage Cut, and that show is going to be called Double Standard. So that will be airing anywhere you hear a podcast on its audio platform, including our video platforms on Rumble and YouTube. So
I like that phrase. Everywhere there's a podcast. It
oh,
saves a lot of
everywhere. I
time
think we're
naming them all.
constantly growing. I think we're up to like 60 audio platforms right now. Every time I Google search myself, or I can't say Google. Sorry, Joseph. He's not near me. He's in Detroit, but it's DuckDuckGo, right? Every time I DuckDuckGo myself, I constantly find more platforms. So yeah, awesome stuff.
Yeah, and you do know Joseph will find out about that. Google.
Oh, I'm sure he's listening. He's probably putting LOLs or something in there. I can't even see the chat, but yeah, I'm sure he's going to go back to the replay, or if he even is listening right now, I'm sure he is listening. Probably saying,
Yeah.
"Bitch."
He's going to give you a timeout. Well, I want to thank you, Michael, for joining me. And I want to thank all the viewers and listeners for jumping on to a special Twisted Tea tonight. We will be back Thursday with the 3 remaining guests of October. November's guests have been released earlier this evening. Check those out. We're going to do a lot of true stories in November. It's going to be a really trigger month. We're doing a real life murder case. We're doing crimes in Texas. We're doing a lot of deep conversations. We're going deep in November. And then in December, we only have 6 shows, and then we have the reunion. So that's how Miss Liz is closing it up for this year. I have hit 146 tea times plus for this one season. So there is lots to see. So if you don't like what you're seeing on one episode, you can go and check another episode, because there's over 92 topics that Miss Liz has covered in 4 seasons. So, and 67 different countries. So you can check them out, and you will see that Miss Liz doesn't play nice. Miss Liz plays kind, not nice. There's a big difference. Check it out. Go to DuckDuckGo, not Google, because that's where Joseph will get both of us on timeout if we say Google.
DuckDuckGo. Ban Google.
That's the way Miss Liz goes, and that's the way Savage Unfiltered goes. We bring it real, we bring it raw, and we bring you a different twisted cup of tea tonight. So check this tea time out. If you haven't checked it out while we were live, check out the replay and share it, and subscribe to Miss Liz's YouTube channel, because that's where you're going to see all of these goodies. And there's more coming in season 5. So again, thank you, Michael, for the updates. And thank you to all the listeners and viewers. I couldn't do this without all of your support. So again, thank you. And I'll see you on Thursday with 3 remaining tea times of October. Then we're jumping into November. So until then, I will wish you guys all a good night, and keep serving your TEA as we
be savage, not average.
There we go.